I'm 81 years old, and for 5 years I watched my daughter-in-law Jennifer drain my late son's $1 million life insurance while treating my granddaughters like servants. She bought designer clothes and luxury cars while my granddaughters wore thrift store hand-me-downs. She told everyone I was a senile old woman whose opinions didn't matter. Jennifer thought I was too old and powerless to stop her financial abuse. She was wrong. I'm a retired family court judge who spent 35 years protecting children from neglectful parents. This is how I used the legal system to strip her of custody and every penny she stole. Subscribe now. Hit that bell so you never miss revenge stories like this. My name is Margaret Chen, and I'm 81 years old. 5 years ago, my son David died in a car accident at 42. He left behind his wife Jennifer, who was 38, and twin daughters Emma and Olivia, who were 12 at the time. David had a $1 million life insurance policy. The money was meant to support Jennifer and the girls, pay off the mortgage, and secure their future. Jennifer was named as the beneficiary with the understanding she would use it responsibly for the family. For the first year after David died, I was consumed by grief. I'd lost my only child, but I stayed involved with my granddaughters because they needed stability. That's when I started noticing things that made my blood run cold. Jennifer had always been materialistic, but David's income as a software engineer kept her spending in check. Now, with $1 million at her disposal and no husband to question her choices, she went completely wild. Within 6 months of David's death, Jennifer bought herself a brand new Mercedes SUV, $70,000. She renovated the master bedroom with custom furniture, $40,000. She started taking solo vacations to Europe and the Caribbean, $15,000 per trip, designer handbags, jewelry, spa treatments, expensive restaurants with her friends. Meanwhile, Emma and Olivia wore the same worn-out clothes to school. Their shoes had holes. When Emma's glasses broke, Jennifer made her wait 3 months for replacements because money was tight. The girls shared one outdated laptop for schoolwork while Jennifer had the latest iPhone and iPad. I confronted Jennifer about it. The life insurance was meant for the girls' future. College funds, activities, their needs. Why are you spending it on yourself? Jennifer's face turned cold. Margaret, David left that money to me, not to you. I'm their mother. I decide what they need. You're just an old woman who doesn't understand modern parenting. Maybe your memory is going. My memory is fine. I see exactly what you're doing. Really? Because everyone I know thinks you're getting senile. You forget things. You repeat yourself. Maybe it's time you stopped interfering in my family. Jennifer started a whisper campaign among family friends, suggesting I was developing dementia and my accusations about her spending were delusions. Some people believed her because I'm 81, and people assume elderly women are confused, but I'm not senile. Before I retired, I was a family court judge for 35 years. I spent decades evaluating parents, reviewing financial records, and protecting children from neglect. I knew exactly what Jennifer was doing. Financial abuse of minors and custodial neglect. I just needed proof that would hold up in court. I started documenting everything. Every time I visited, I photographed the girls' worn clothes, their broken possessions, the empty refrigerator. I kept copies of Jennifer's social media posts, showing her luxury purchases and exotic vacations. I tracked her spending through public records where possible. The Mercedes purchase, the home renovation permits, property tax records showing she hadn't paid down the mortgage despite having $1 million. Emma confided in me one day when Jennifer was out. Grandma, Mom says we can't do soccer this year because it costs too much, but she just bought a $5,000 purse. I saw the receipt. Does she do this often? Spend money on herself while telling you there's no money for your activities? All the time. She took a 2-week trip to France last month, but when Olivia needed a winter coat, Mom made her wear the same one from 2 years ago that doesn't fit anymore. Kids at school make fun of us. Do you and Olivia ever tell your mother you need things? We try, but she gets angry and says we're ungrateful. She says Dad's death was hard on her and she deserves to enjoy life. Then she tells us we're being selfish for asking for new clothes or school supplies. That was when I knew I had to act. This wasn't just poor judgment. It was psychological abuse combined with financial exploitation. I contacted a family law attorney I'd worked with during my years as a judge. I need to petition for custody of my granddaughters. Their mother is squandering their father's life insurance on herself while neglecting their basic needs. Margaret, custody battles against a biological parent are difficult, especially for a grandparent. You'll need overwhelming evidence of neglect. I have it. 5 years of documented financial abuse, photographs of neglect, and statements from the children. I filed for emergency custody. The petition detailed Jennifer's spending patterns, provided bank records I'd obtained through discovery, showed photographs of the girls' conditions, and included statements from Emma and Olivia about their mother's behavior. Jennifer was furious when she was served. She showed up at my house screaming, "You're trying to steal my daughters. You're a vindictive old woman who can't accept that David is gone. I'm protecting my granddaughters from a mother who spends their inheritance on designer handbags while they wear shoes with holes. I'm their mother. No judge will take children away from their mother and give them to an 81-year-old woman." We'll see. The custody hearing was scheduled for 3 weeks later. Jennifer hired an expensive attorney, paid for with the life insurance money, of course. Her strategy was to paint me as a senile, controlling old woman who was jealous of her relationship with her daughters. But Jennifer made a critical mistake. She underestimated my professional background and connections in the family court system. The judge assigned to our case was Judge Patricia Morrison, who had been a junior attorney when I was on the bench. She knew my reputation for thorough, fair judgments and protecting children above all else. At the hearing, Jennifer's attorney tried to argue that I was too old to care for teenagers, that my accusations were exaggerated, and that any spending issues were simply different parenting choices. Then it was my turn. I presented 5 years of meticulously documented evidence. Bank records showing Jennifer had burned through $700,000 of the $1 million insurance payout in 5 years, with almost nothing spent on the children. Photographs of Emma and Olivia in worn, ill-fitting clothes next to Jennifer's social media posts, showing off her designer wardrobe and luxury trips. School records showing the girls were frequently sent home because they lacked proper supplies or fees for activities weren't paid. Statements from teachers expressing concern about the children's appearance and demeanor. "Your Honor," I said, "I was a judge in this courthouse for 35 years. Jennifer stammered. I'm their mother. I was grieving. I needed to heal. The money was left to me. The money was life insurance meant to support your family after your husband's death. Instead, you bought luxury cars and took European vacations while your children wore inadequate clothing. This court finds clear evidence of financial exploitation and emotional neglect. Judge Morrison awarded me full custody of Emma and Olivia, effective immediately. Jennifer was granted supervised visitation only. The judge also ordered a full accounting of the remaining insurance money and froze Jennifer's access to it pending further review. But I wasn't done. I also filed a civil suit against Jennifer for misappropriation of the girls' inheritance. Under state law, life insurance proceeds meant to support minor children can't be squandered by a custodial parent on personal luxuries. The civil case took 8 months, but the evidence was overwhelming. The court ordered Jennifer to repay $300,000 of the misappropriated funds to a trust for Emma and Olivia's college education and future needs. Since she'd already spent most of the money, the judgment was secured against her assets, including forcing the sale of her Mercedes and designer possessions. Jennifer's life fell apart quickly. Without the insurance money to fund her lifestyle, she couldn't maintain the house and had to sell it. She moved into a small apartment and got a job for the first time in 15 years. Her friend group, built on expensive lunches and shopping trips, evaporated. She became the social pariah she'd tried to paint me as. Emma and Olivia have been living with me for 2 years now. They're 17, thriving in school, involved in activities, and planning for college. The recovered money sits in a protected trust that will pay for their education and first homes. They see Jennifer once a month for supervised visits, but the relationship is strained. People sometimes ask if I feel guilty for taking my granddaughters away from their mother. The answer is no. Jennifer had 5 years to be a responsible parent. Instead, she chose designer handbags over her daughter's well-being. She chose luxury vacations over their school activities. She chose her own comfort over their basic needs. I'm 81 years old. I'm a retired family court judge. I'm a grandmother who lost her only son, but refused to let his daughters be neglected. And I'm a woman who knows how to use the legal system to protect children. Jennifer thought my age made me powerless. She learned that 35 years of family court experience doesn't disappear at 81. When you're a retired judge facing a neglectful parent, you know exactly which laws apply and how to build an ironclad case. Some battles aren't about revenge. They're about justice and protecting those who can't protect themselves. This was one of those battles, and I won. The end.